I'm Tony Perkins, and you're listening to Washington Watch, the website, tonyperkins.com. Let me remind you, every morning, 8:44 a.m., if you are a part of our Bible reading plan, Stand on the Word. If not, you can be a part of it, but at 8:44 a.m. Eastern Time, you can join me on Facebook for a daily devotional. I'd love to have you be a part of our Bible reading plan. All right, making its way through the Florida legislature right now is a parental rights bill that says schools may not encourage discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity in primary grade levels. Well, the president didn't like it. He sent out a tweet claiming that the legislation is designed to attack LGBTQI plus kids. He called the bill hateful. Now, think about this. I mentioned this earlier at the top of the program. Inflation going through the roof. Is the president working on inflation? No. His foreign policy is a disaster. Is he focused on what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, maybe Iran, as we were just talking about, arming itself with nuclear weapons? What's he focused on? He's focused on advancing the whole LGBTQ agenda. And that has been the hallmark of his administration. Joining me now to set the record straight on what this bill actually does is John Stemberger, president of the Florida Family Policy Council. John, welcome back to the program.
Tony, it's great to be with you.
I'm not hearing John. Do we have him?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now. So before
great.
we get him, welcome, John. Always great to see you. Before we get into the president's comments, can you first tell us about the bill? What does it do?
Yeah, so our opponents are calling this the Don't Say Gay bill. It's really a Don't Turn My Son Into a Daughter bill. The bill prohibits the school from changing its policies regarding discussions surrounding human sexuality, regarding sexual orientation, gender identity, without parents being involved. We had a situation in Jacksonville. Laura Ingram just had this on her show. A father gets a call from the emergency room. His daughter just tried to commit suicide, Tony, by hanging herself. He gets into it and he finds out that the school's been leading her into becoming a boy, assigning her boy name, letting her use boys' restrooms, and the stress and the depression and the turmoil of all that just made her go over the top. And so that's Exhibit A as for why we need laws like this. Schools need to be focused on teaching kids math and reading and writing. I mean, if you look at our academics compared to the rest of the world, we are flailing. And instead, schools are trying to engage in social experimentation with our kids. It's complete nonsense, and it's nonsense that this bill stops in its tracks.
Yeah, I mean, what a contrast. I mean, and that's essentially what Governor DeSantis has said in Florida. Our schools need to be about teaching reading, writing, help our kids do well in math and science, not making our classrooms a playground for social experimentation. But here, on the other hand, you have President Biden, the president of the United States of America, who is supposed to be a world leader. And what's he worried about? He's worried about a bill that protects parental rights in Florida. I mean, you talk about mixed up priorities for this administration. It's unbelievable what this administration is focused on.
It's not only his jurisdiction, it's not national or worldwide, it's a state matter, but he's got it wrong on the issue, even how he's coming down on it. So it's just unfortunate. Parents' rights have got to be respected, and what they say is, oh, well, it's because the parents would be abusive or they do something horrible. Look, Tony, we have laws for that, right? I mean, in Florida, we have the Department of Children and Families. If somebody's abusive or there's neglect or abandonment, hey, call DCF, report it, have them come out. That's not what we're talking about here. The vast majority of parents are going to love and unconditionally accept their kids, irrespective of how they act out, whether they identify as gay or whatever it is. What we have here is schools are literally engaging in the process of trying to actively teach kids and guide them through the process of changing their sex without the parents knowing anything about it. It's absolutely outrageous.
You're absolutely right, John. The vast majority of parents are going to love their kids. They're going to, if they can, they're going to try to help them. Of course, that avenue is being cut off in some jurisdictions where you can't even help your child through counseling to try to make the right decisions about their sexuality. But you're right, parents are going to accept their kids. But this is about This is about drafting kids. This is about drawing kids into this sexual confusion so that, quite frankly, they can be recruited into this. I mean, the parents have a right. And John, I'm sure you see it in Florida. I see it across the country. What is encouraging is the parents are saying enough is enough. And that is why legislators are standing up and putting forth bills like this.
Well, we're very pleased that the leadership of Senator Dennis Baxley and Representative Joe Harding in Florida, as well as our governor, Tony, it's the parents' rights, stupid, right? When we see what happened in Virginia, Loudoun County, I mean, politicians need to wake up and smell the coffee, because if they keep going down this road, there's going to be consequences. The pendulum is swinging way too far to the left, too fast in crazy land. And so I think that common sense is about to be put back, and it's going to be put back in the ballot box when parents just say enough. You're exactly right.
Well, I only disagree with you on this one point, John. I'm hoping the other side doesn't wake up. I want them to get their clocked clean politically and not even know what hit them, because they're so locked into la-la land from this leftist thinking. So final question for you, John Stemberger. What are the prospects of this bill in Florida?
So I mean, we're working out some details. There's some language that is problematic, perhaps, and we're getting the best lawyers in the country from ADF and Liberty Counsel and others to weigh in and look at it. But I think there's a very good chance this bill could pass. I mean, our governor DeSantis is very serious about parental rights. He's very serious about pushing back the mob that's trying to attack our kids. And so I think there's a very good chance this bill could pass.
Great. We will be tracking it and, of course, encouraging our people to weigh in on it as well. John Stemberger, appreciate you joining us today. Thanks for your leadership in the state of Florida and literally across the nation as you provide leadership to family policy councils. Always good to see you.
Thank you, Tony.